Well, good morning, my friend. Welcome to the Pastor's Podcast Wednesday morning. And I know it's just a little bit on the early side, but I am getting ready to leave to go to the airport to fly back home. Had a wonderful meeting here at True Light Baptist Church. My good friend, Brother Matt Wooten, Pastor Matthew Wooten, and what a great job he's doing here. Had a great crowd last night. And we even had two more people saved last night. That's always a good thing. And I always enjoy seeing people get saved. One of the men that got saved, it was a great story. I have to talk about later, but just a wonderful time. And here in Albuquerque area, of course, many good friends I have in this area from years gone by. This is one of the first areas where, as an evangelist, I kind of had a foothold in this area, and many of those men are still alive, still serving the Lord, and that's always good to see these men. And I hope that you have a wonderful day today. Now, Maranatha Baptist Church tonight. We continue the series on the Christian home. You make sure that you're there, as we got a very critical lesson tonight that will help us out. I would encourage you, make sure that you're there tonight. Well, today I want to talk about contending against the wrong opponent. In Jude chapter 1 and verse 3, the scripture says, "Beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that ye should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints." When we think of contending for the faith, many often think that we must contend against others, against people, if I put it that way. But many needless battles are fought in Christianity because of a personality. But contending for the faith was never about fighting against personalities, but about fighting for the faith. Now, that's critical right there. You see, personalities are the ones who try to destroy the faith. I understand that. But personalities are not the focus. The faith is always the focus. So the word contend means to compete. In other words, I'm competing for the faith. When you contend for something, it's never about the individual, but for the cause. For instance, when I played sports in high school, we contended against other teams, but we were trying to win for our school. Now, if I won, my whole team won against other teams. Get this now. But it was not just one individual. Now, I was playing against one opponent, one-on-one, but I was playing against a team. Get this now. It was not about whether I get the glory or some other player gets the glory. It was about our team getting the win for our school. Now, contending for the faith is all about the whole team of the local church winning. That's what it's about. And when the church wins, listen now, the faith wins. So to contend for the faith does not mean that my opponent is another church. Get that now. So contending for the faith means I'm competing for the faith. Now, there's only one opponent to the faith, and that's Satan. And yes, Satan uses people, but my opponent is Satan and not other Christians. It's not other churches. My opponent is Satan. Now, he may use churches and he may use Christians to try to stop us from doing what we ought to do for the faith. But my focus must always be on contending for that which we are supposed to contend for, which is the faith. Now, I want you to notice that contending for the faith is more of an offensive position than a defensive position. So when I contend for the faith, I am doing what it takes for the faith to win. What does it take for the faith to win? Well, it takes souls being saved, churches being built, lives being changed from sin to holiness, truth being proclaimed. That's what it takes. So I've got to do these things. When I'm contending for the faith, I contend for the faith every time I lead someone to Jesus Christ. I contend for the faith. And when another individual or family come for help and they come to help me fill the church, we're contending for the faith. The faith gets another victory. You see, we have to understand that to contend for the faith, it's an offensive position instead of a defensive position. We're moving forward, not moving backwards to defend our position. I contend by being offensive about this thing. Contending is it's not a stationary thing. You'll never contend for the faith by holding on, but you contend for the faith by moving forward to doing more than what you're doing right now. Now, I have found the best way to contend for the faith is to compete against myself and not against others. Now, it's interesting. I contend for the faith by looking at what I am doing for Christ and not what others are doing for Christ. So it's not about me being better than another church or believer. It is about me continually beating what I have done for the faith before. If I compete against myself, I never make another person or another church my opponent. Now, I can rejoice by doing this. I can rejoice with other churches or individuals when they have a victory. So my competition, okay, my church's competition is against itself. My individual competition is against myself. Therefore, I can rejoice when any other church is doing something great for God. And so stop worrying about how you stack up against other churches or other Christians and compete against yourself for the faith. Our focus ought to be the faith and letting it win. Contending for the faith is not about me outdoing another Christian or church, but about me furthering the cause of the faith. Now, when we make the faith the focus for which we contend, we will make a difference in our world when the faith is furthered. Always remember this. We contend for the faith by moving forward and doing, and never by standing stationary. So I want to defend the faith. No, you just do what is right. And while you do what is right, you're contending for the faith. Well, my friend, I hope this is a great help to you. Now I got to get to the airport. And so I hope that you'd pray for me as I travel. And may I say to you today, be good to everyone. Everyone's having a tough time. Have a great day, my friend.